It is proven with actual numbers that failure is the minority of your life, not the majority. That more things have gone right than wrong. That the ledger honestly counted is in your favor. So here is the question that has been sitting with me since. If the numbers are on our side, why doesn't it feel that way? Why does one mistake feel heavier than 1,000 victories? And that is what we are solving today. Not the mathematics of failure, but the psychology of it. Picture this. A student sits for an exam with 8 questions, 7 correct ones and 1 wrong answer. Mathematics give him 87.5%, a distinction by every measurable standard and excellent result. He gets home. Everyone wants to know about question 8. What happened there? Why did you go wrong? How did you miss that one? The score didn't change. The achievement didn't change. Only the attention changed. And that right there is the entire psychology of failure in summary. Here's the truth about life. Life is additive. Human memory is subtractive. Life keeps adding. Every early morning, every promise kept, every difficult decision made correctly, every battle survived, every lesson extracted, every small, quiet, unseen victory, life adds them all faithfully without missing an entry. But memory subtracts. One public embarrassment, and it forgets 10 years of quiet excellence, one failed business, and every successful project before it disappears. One wrong season, and suddenly the entire harvest is in question. Memory is not an accountant. Memory is an editor, and it cuts everything except the part that hurts. So, why does memory work this way? Why does one wrong answer drown out 7 correct ones? Because memory is emotional. Memory doesn't measure significance. Memory measures pains. The event that hurt us the most becomes the event we remember the longest. Not because they happened the most, but because we felt them the deepest. That is why embarrassment lasts longer than applause. That is why criticism echoes louder than compliment. That is why failure feels bigger than success. Not because it is, because emotion has a microphone, and success, quiet, accumulative, undramatic success, often goes about his work in silence. Now think about this. Nobody throws away a weight because he got one weight wrong in parallax. Nobody says a surgeon learned nothing because of one operation that became complicated after years of saving lives. Nobody says a musician has no talent because of one bad performance. Yet somehow, when it comes to ourselves, one mistake becomes the whole identity. One rejection means I'm not good enough. One failed interview means I'm not employable. One failed business means I'm not an entrepreneur. We do this to ourselves without mercy, without questions. And here is why that matters. Failure knows this about you. Failure does not need to be large to be destructive. It only needs to be loud. It just needs to find the microphone that emotion left unattended and speak into it until you stop counting what life has been adding on your behalf. That is the real strategy of failure, not to defeat you, to make you stop counting. Look at the people history calls great. Study them closely, not the highlight reel, the full account. They were not people with fewer mistakes. They were people whose achievements eventually became too large for the mistake to dominate the conversation. History did not erase their failures. It simply added so many victories that the failure found their appropriate proportion. A footnote, not a headline. And that is how life works. It is always adding. The question is, are you? Or have you stopped adding because you are still staring at what should have been one entry in the ledger? Because that is what failure wants. Failure wants to freeze your arithmetic. It wants one mistake to become the final calculation. It wants you to put down the pen and walk away from the equation before life has finished writing it. Don't! Because every morning you wake up is another line in the equation, another entry, another addition, another chance to change the proportion. So count again. Not your failures this time, but your faithfulness. Count the morning you showed up when showing up was the hardest thing available. Count the promises you kept when breaking them would have been easier. Count the people you helped when nobody was watching. Count the battles you survived that you never told anyone about. Count the days you chose discipline when comfort was right there, available, warm, and completely free. Count everything life has been adding up while your memory has been subtracting. Because your life is not the sum of your worst moments. Your life is the accumulation of every choice you made after them. The numbers are on your side. They always were. So count again.